Welcome to Knuckle Town.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome to Knuckle Town.
Slow burn like a sea. Just tell me what I can and I'll show you things that you've done. Just tell me what I can. Just tell me.
Welcome to the KO Show. It's your friendly neighborhood Big Face. And as always, we are keeping you on the cutting edge of bare knuckle sports, the most exciting, fastest growing combat sport in the world. So many things happening that literally every week there's a bombshell announcement and fight fans are going crazy. The internet's going crazy. My inbox are going crazy. So today we have a very, very special guest that's going to shed light on a lot of these topics. We have the owner and co-founder of BYB, Mike Vazquez. Man, welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you, brother. Great to be on the KO Show.
Man, I really appreciate it. How you feeling? You feeling good today?
Good. Tomorrow's a travel day for me, so just tightening up loose ends and getting ready to hit Denver.
Me too. I will be wheels up headed to Denver myself. I cannot wait, man, for that. The card is great. You've got several superstars there. But as always, when I start, I love to get the fans up to speed really quick. A lot of people know your backstory, but a lot don't. You know, they don't understand it, where you came from and your entrepreneurial spirit. So talk to us. I first came to know you through NASCAR as the first Latino owner, and talk to us about how that came about, because it wasn't a space for brown people for sure when you came into it.
Definitely. Back in 1998, I actually worked with Juan Pablo Montoya and his team when he came over in the kart series, and in 99 when he debuted and started winning races right off the bat, and I was traveling with him around the country, but everywhere I went there was nothing of kart series. It was all NASCAR book bags, pencils. You go to Walmart, there's a whole row on NASCAR stuff. So I actually started following closely NASCAR and realized that they had no international presence, that they really had been trying to take races to Japan, which didn't make sense because of the tariffs on American cars in Japan. So I set up a meeting with Mike Helton, who was the president at that time, and I told him, you have 100 million Mexicans south of the border. Most of them love their Chevy, their Ford trucks.
With an insane car culture.
Yeah. And you got 30, 40 million up here. Why are you going to Japan when you have this audience? And he took special interest in what we were doing and appointed me to head their new diversity council to push for more of a Hispanic and African-American presence on NASCAR's tracks. And shortly that turned into NASCAR Mexico, which became the #1 series in South America, which we had to change people's minds from open wheel racing, what they loved, the purest form of racing. So into the crash and bang of NASCAR, which people also love, the accidents, the rubbing is racing kind of thing. So we did that. It actually, it's the #1 form of racing in South America right now. And
amazing.
And we're proud of that. Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, you went in and you made your lane, which is fantastic. And the fact that you saw that and 100% correct on the Japan move. I mean, that's they don't even like V8s over there. They into them little efficiencies.
Yeah,
they're efficient. So, right, exactly. Yeah, and the drift. That's right. Well, yeah, Tokyo Drift. Shout out to y'all. I do, and that just segues right into the entrepreneurial spirit that leads you to be, in the cutting edge of sports. Like you were trying something new. You were doing something new. Same as when this opportunity came your way with the BYB Backyard Brawls. Talk to us a little bit about the meeting, how that set up for you to become a partner with Dada 5000, which is unusual, right? I mean, it's very unusual.
Sure. Well, it's actually been similar processes. Both are long-term visions that, you can get there, but it doesn't start there. You have to change hearts and minds, and timing is everything. So just because you're ready doesn't mean that the public is ready or the market's ready for it. But yeah, no, based on my NASCAR Mexico, I had a relationship with Pitbull, the singer celebrity. We did album covers for him on our race cars. We'd wrap his new album covers out, and he'd send a message to the fans and in Mexico and whatnot. And Jose Surius, who's my partner, used to work with him, and he approached me one day and he says, "Hey, these fights in the backyard, they're getting ready to be stopped by the state of Florida Boxing Commission. And, would you meet Dada and see, is there any way you can do what you did with NASCAR as far as creating the series, over here?" So, of course, I was familiar with the fights. They're gritty. I love them. But as in any business, you have to know who you're doing business with. So I'd never met Dada. I'd only seen what everybody sees on YouTube or on TV,
Right.
which was one tough son of a gun. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll meet him. Yeah, let's talk. Let's see how it goes. And I'll never forget, that was in August of 2014 at Monty's in the Grove. And we sat down. What was going to be like a 1 hour turned into 3 or 4 hours. I think Dada ate like 300 shrimps, shrimp and wings and everything else. But at that meeting, I got to know Dada very well. Salt of the earth guy, great guy.
Yes.
Very focused on what he wanted to do. I think he had a great connection to the authenticity of the sport. And it was just a matter of putting our heads together in a way that we could do business together. And in that very day, and I wish I had it. I wish I still had it. We drew out our logo, as you see it right here, on a napkin.
Love it.
We designed our ring first. Hey, we want to be different. We want people to turn on the TV and know what they're looking at is BYB.
And we talked about this off camera, boss. Mike, the triangle ring is just scary. It's just frightening when you see it's jarring. And I think that has to do with, the attitude toward it when it first debuted. Guys were skeptical of it. Fighters were skeptical of it. Boxers outside were like, I don't know about this triangle. It's like a phone booth, whatever. But now you've seen the extremes go, all the way to Karjitsu on the internet. That triangle is just so intimidating.
Yeah, that's the word.
Especially, guys, if you go see it live. Yes.
It is intimidating, and it does work. Dada says it's the third man in the ring, because you have to know where you're at in the ring, as opposed to a regular boxing ring or a round cage or anything else. You have to know where you're at. And the fighters, like I said, they're intimidated at first. But once they get in the ring and they realize, wait a minute, there's room to work here. I can take,
there's strategy you can use here.
And I can use this to my advantage. So they might come in intimidated, but as soon as they get that first fight, which is almost like a badge of honor, to say, that you fought in the Trigon, the smallest surface, tightest corners, all that. Once they get through that fight, they love it. And our Danielle does interviews post-fight, and she'll always ask the new fighters, what'd you think about this ring? And they all, usually after a win, they love it, obviously, right? But
of course. Of course.
But yeah, no, it's special. But no, Dot and I hit it off right away. We started working towards incorporating BYB, patenting our ring design, doing all our trademarks, getting all the foundation stuff done first before we even made any kind of announcement or held our first event. So, and we actually have the ring patented not only as the ring that you've seen over the last couple of years with BYB, but we also have a cage, a triangle cage that appeared in our first two events. So we may bring back at some point, kind of cage match, grudge match.
Right.
No belts on the line, no belts on the line for that one. But some kind of grudge match, event of sorts.
Well, and as a journalist covering bare knuckle, and I have for last couple of years, and I love the sport, very passionate about it. No one can question DeFeer's passion, your guys' passion over there at BYB, and how you've built a strong foundation, the structure. And I got my hands on some schematics of that triangle. And it's it's pretty formidable. It's fantastic and live. You got to see it live. If you ever get the opportunity, anyone watching here, you have to go to a BYB show live. There's nothing like it. The energy, just being in the building. Speaking of that, as you said earlier, we're about to fly to Denver for BYB 37. We got a fantastic card there. You've got some huge stars. You got Helen Peralta there. You got Roberto Duran Jr. there. You got, just talk about 37 a little bit, the excitement. And I've seen you at the events. You just like one of us. You're having a great time. You're enjoying yourself. Let's talk about 37 a little bit.
No, it's another exciting night of fights. A couple of fights for belts. John Bernard, Harry Gigliotti, who did great in his fight in the UK earlier this year. Faced a lot of pressure early on, withstood it, and came in with that liver shot that sealed the deal for him. And of course, Bernard, who fought McQueen and took every bit of he had and came out with the end as well. So that's going to be an exciting fight. See what comes, but up and down the card, Helen Peralta rematch.
Yes.
Against the girl she fought in Biloxi. There was an unfortunate headbutt. I've heard, Helen thinks it was on purpose.
She's upset.
That was Helen's first fight with us after a little bit of a layover from her previous fights. And what I saw when Helen came back after that in New Orleans, it was a different Helen than the first fight. So I think Helen is stepped up, from first fight to second fight. Interesting to see how she'd be here, because Mota is not a walkover at all. That should be a great fight. Up and down the card, they're all great. Mel Valenzuela does a great job with our cards. 50-50 fights. All our lines
matchmaking. You have great
all
matchmaking.
Our lines are now hung on ESPN bets and other DraftKings and other places. I don't envy the people that make those lines because they are 50-50 fights, and they usually start with a cracker first of the night to get the night going. So there's really no prelims or slow fights in the night. It's all action all night.
It's definitely 0 to 100 immediately when the show begins, from the opening to the end. Your matchmakers do a fantastic job, and that is another reputation you have in the space, is that you guys put together the fights the fans want to see. I mean, that's absolutely true. You definitely are not seeing the card fillers on your shows ever, and you do happen to have, in my opinion, the most exciting female fighters in the game. I mean, you got a lot of great divisions. You got some heavier divisions for the females, and they put on a hell of a show every time. Watching Jamie Driver win the welterweight championship in December down in Miami was amazing, and she was amazing. She's amazing. I mean, your female fighters, you guys have a definite advantage there, I believe.
Yeah, we're proud of our female division, and we're continuing working to grow it. Our first champion at BYB was actually a female. It was Patty Juarez at 135 when she was fighting against Christine Knuckles Stanley, and that was a war. I don't know if you go back to BYB. I think it was BYB 3.
I watched them all. Yep.
That was a war between those two women, and we're proud of our entire roster and continuing to build and look for females to enhance and grow the higher divisions and the lower divisions as well.
Okay, and let's talk about, maybe not one of the most highest ranked fighters right now in the sport, but definitely a name that rings bells with a lot of people, Roberto Duran Jr. He's come on board with you guys. He's been successful thus far. How do you feel about his progression so far in his bare knuckle career?
Well, in boxing, because of that last name, it was hard for him to get fights, right? Everybody in an era where people were padding their records, right? Which is
boxing.
You can't do that in bare knuckle, right?
Nope.
Especially in our things are 50-50 fights. I mean, you can if you create.
Well, and uniquely, Mike, here in bare knuckle, you get a loss, you don't lose fanfare. I mean, you may actually gain fanfare from an exciting fight you lose.
Exactly. So and one punch can make the difference, in a bare knuckle fight as well. So no, we're really proud that he took that step to believe in us and in bare knuckle as a sport. Came with us, had a great victory in Denver on his debut. Lost 2 teeth in that fight, and I was like,
wow.
Is this the last we're going to see of Roberto? But he said, in the ring before he got out, I found my home, and he came back. He fought. He unfortunately took a loss in Miami. It was a hard fight that he actually, this is something that the boxing guys have to really learn when they come to bare knuckle. In boxing, you do take 2 or 3 rounds to feel out your opponent because you have a long night, and he did that. He took the first 2 rounds feeling them out, and he took some big shots in that process. Then he figured them out and started coming towards them. But by that time, the damage was done on the scorecards, and he lost the decision. But I'm hoping that that will have taught him as well as, hey, there ain't no time. There's no feeling out process. Maybe it's the first 10 seconds, but after that, it's go time.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to, speaking of that, I've talked to boxing champions who have converted over to bare knuckle, and they say the same thing. In boxing, it starts slow and it ends fast, but in bare knuckle, it starts fast. I mean, and then you feel you go hard in the beginning.
It starts very fast,
and then it slows down.
one guy always says, I'm going to attack this guy and take him out before he can land a punch because I don't want to get any damage on me.
That's right. Yeah.
They go 1,000 miles an hour. If you can withstand that first assault, it's like what happened to Harry and Fitzpatrick in there. He withstood that first assault, came back, and finished the fight. So it's a double-edged sword,
Well, that's another great thing about bare knuckle that and any fan knows that multiple fights where someone's down, gets up, knocks the other guy out, wins. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's just like everyone can relate to being in a bare knuckle fight. We've all been in a bare knuckle fight. Everyone knows that everything changes in 1 second in a bare knuckle fight, and these are professionals. This is a different level to the violence, and being in that 16-foot triangle makes it pretty quick. You got, and speaking, you alluded to it earlier, Mikey. You have a fantastic team, Danielle, Paulie Malignaggi, Goldie. We talked about Claudia. I mean, you've built a fantastic team there. You guys have a great show and a great product for the fans to view. And congratulations, you built a fantastic production team there.
Thank you.
So we have another big announcement, though, that the whole internet's been abuzz for the last several days. And let's talk about that. You guys have formed a partnership with Vice, and everyone knows 40 million subscribers. Vice, the youth love Vice. Talk about that, because it just shook the whole fight world up last week.
Yeah, we're extremely proud of that, and happy at the trajectory that we've continued to grow. It's very important, I think, in the combat sports world to be relevant, right, with the combat fan, and I think we've become that. The people in the sport. They're familiar with us. They're watching our events, but really to cross through in the format that we're looking to achieve, right, which is to keep our events on open air television, keep them free for the public, grow brand awareness, build our corporate sponsor relationships with the network relationship. This is a very important step because we don't want to have our fans have to subscribe for access to our app, or subscribe to somebody else for access to the fights or pay-per-view. I really do think the pay-per-view model is dead and has been for several years. When people have Fire Sticks and they're doing this and they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other formats. And I going back to the NASCAR model, NASCAR lives on corporate sponsorships, and it does well. We wanted to follow that same model and get out to the masses, and stepping into Vice TV. And we had a great relationship, and we still, by the way, we're still on BN Sports. We're still on Fuse TV. We are adding Vice. So we are continuing to add different platforms for our fans to be able to find us for free and enjoy our shows. So we're excited about that, because that takes us, not only will our fight fans go to those networks to see us, but now their existing fan base and following will be tuning into bare knuckle. So it's a great opportunity to grow the fan base. And
Absolutely.
In particular awareness of BYB, BKB.
Well, and definitely, and as it gains mainstream success, you hear Rogan talking about it. You hear mainstream celebrities talking about it. You see the celebrities. I've been to your fights. You have celebrities. You have professional fighters at your fights that show up because they love it. Even fighters of rival promotions are at your fights. I mean, it is a who's who of fights there. Vice gives you a unique position, man, because they're known for their edgy content. People go there for their edgy content. You guys are a very cool, right? In a very cool period. And that's a cool network. And I think the marriage there is perfect. I mean, I tune in anyway, but I see you gaining a lot of fans through that.
I agree. Demographics are great. And there's opportunities for us to cross promote our events, which will be not only the live events, but there's going to be peripheral programming added. And best of shows and other opportunities, but also opportunities to cross promote with some of their other programming, right? Like, could you imagine 2 Chainz coming and sitting ringside for the most expensivest triangle ring in the world, or whatever.
Let's go.
Different opportunities to do stuff back and forth, which I'm looking forward to, because I'm a fan of the network myself, and now that we're on it, even more so.
Right. I mean, it's very exciting. Me too. And I'm already a fan of the network. I don't have to get a new subscription. It's already there. I love it. And okay, so 37, we can't wait. I'm flying out tomorrow. The whole Knuckletown squad, everybody's going to be down there. I want to talk about something that happened maybe a little earlier, about a month ago, and now it's rescheduled. It's a huge fight in the bare knuckle world with two wildly popular fighters. LT Smash Nelson, arguably the most popular fighter in all of bare knuckle sports. He's won our People's Champion 2 years in a row, and that's a straight fan poll. And then you have James Connolly. They were, everyone was waiting for this fight. You got down to New Mexico. There was some issues with the commission not allowing it to go the length that a championship bout in BYB regulations has to go, and it was scrapped. So talk to us about the rematch in March 22nd, correct? And what did you say? Where was it going to be at?
Wolverhampton, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's a very, maybe the most anticipated bare knuckle fight of the year.
I'll tell you, everybody was disappointed when it didn't happen in New Mexico. But the New Mexico card stood strong,
yes.
Even without the main event. Cody East did a great job. Like you said, it was even featured. Joe Rogan talked about the fight.
Very
showed
fun.
The fight on there. It was a great fight to see.
The guy's face was off, Mike. His face was gone.
That's why, like I said, the doctors have to be doing their job, but you want to always, as a referee, I think he did a good job, Eric.
He did.
The doctor decide. And even
because when you saw the cuts after the fight, Mike, they weren't, it was super fit. Yeah, there were big cuts, but it looked way worse with the blood than it actually was.
Right. So they could have stopped the fight and Cody wouldn't have gotten the victory, and it played out. I
love it. Joe Rogan said, and that guy won. The guy's face was gone, and that guy won. I loved it. Yeah.
So it was disappointing not having it there, but everything happens for a reason, I guess. Then where and when came up, and LT is a warrior. He fought Barry Jones on his home turf, and he said, I'll fight him at Wolverhampton, which is where James is from. And I was like,
that's going to be
you're going to go crazy. Willing to go back into enemy territory, and
Smash is amazing, dude. Smash is he's not scared.
He feeds off it. He's off it. So we were fortunate to put it together in that short time. So it was only 60-day delay. But we're excited about that one. That's going to be crazy.
Well, that's great too. I mean, things happen. This fight game is crazy. Fights are postponed, guys are hurt, all kind of things happen. There's a lot of hurdles and hoops you have to jump through for every card. The fact that this was such a high profile matchup, the headline of the card, the way you guys handled it was excellent, very professional, and you put on the show that was fun for the fans. And now they get to fight right back. In other places, you may never see that fight come back again. You just might have missed it. But I do think the fans appreciate the fact that you guys got that done. I think it'll be a bigger fight in Wolverhampton. Albuquerque's a fantastic market, but I just think it's going to be a huge fight there. How those fight fans are super passionate there. Like my buddy of mine told me, he said, they got 3 pints before the first fight. So they're not a walk-up crowd or a late show crowd like Miami. They're there early.
No, they for our London shows, we open doors at 3:30 for the first fights at 5, and by 4 o'clock the place is full. By 4:30, everybody's sitting at their table with 5 beers in front of them. Ready for the night. So it's going to be an exciting night. And from there we continue. I think we just made an announcement for our April show in South Carolina. April 4th, we're going back to Myrtle Beach, or back to South Carolina. First time for us at Myrtle Beach. We've done Rock Hill a few times. South Carolina has always treated us well, so we've got and then the schedule's just continuing to build. So
I mean, I've been to several events in Myrtle Beach for all kind of bare knuckle events for other organizations. It's a great crowd. You're gonna love it. You're gonna pack it in there. They're gonna have a fantastic time with you guys. I want to say, before we let you go, Mike, first of all, thank you. I know you're super busy. I know you're about to travel. Thanks for having a few minutes for us. The things that you guys are working on are amazing, and what you've done for the sport, I want to give you my own thank yous, because I love the sport, and it is the fastest growing combat sport in the world across the board. And you are one of the driving forces. Not only that, but you're not an isolationist. You're about the sport. You're not holding it, clutching it to your chest. You're doing innovative things. You're making changes. There's even bigger announcements I know that you're going to be making soon. And you guys got to tune in to BYB 37 in Denver, because there's some big announcements I believe they're going to be letting you know at that show. And thank you very much for everything you do for the sport, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. And I look at it as really, we try to be different. We try to show that to our fighters, to our staff. We treat each other literally like family. If a fighter has an issue, they're always welcome to come to me and discuss it. If there's any way we can help, we will. You know, and that's the mentality. We're here because of the fighters, thanks to the fighters. And
Love it. That is absolutely a fact.
and
And that's a fact. I've witnessed it myself. I mean, that's not him just selling you guys a wolf ticket. That is 100% the atmosphere at their events. So, I mean, that's dope. It's dope.
Thank you, brother.
Well, I appreciate your time, Mike. And I hope you didn't lose my man right there. We appreciate your time, Mike. And we will see you in Denver in just a few days. Cannot wait for the action. Thank you so much, man. You're welcome anytime on the KO Show.
Thank you, brother. Look forward to seeing you this week.
My man. Thank you. And there you go, man. I mean, just exciting. You heard it there. I think the relationship with Vice, I think the ongoing, the evolution of BYB and the evolution of the sport as a whole is super healthy. And the way they've done it there is just, you know, there's many ways to do it, but you can't argue with the success they've had. And they're poised. 2025 is a huge year for bare knuckle. I've been saying this for 2 years. We're mainstream. As far as I'm concerned, we are. But we shall see this year. It's a huge year for bare knuckle. Thank you for tuning in. And you'll see us in just a couple of days there, BYB 37, the brawl, baby. I can't wait. Hey, man, you know what we say here. Big Face is always about the gladiators, and there ain't no Coliseum without the gladiators.
Welcome to Knuckle Town.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off or get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about. Have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round. I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome